Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. My favorite makeup today is this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I am in the shade Buff Bisque. It's sort of a light neutral. I will say that this foundation does not smell very good. It smells like paint, but it does go on really nicely and it gives me a really good finish. So, and for the price point on this, because I think this was $4.99 where I purchased it, it's a really nice foundation and I'm enjoying it. So I put that on today, and now on to the video. For today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the products in the Kat Von D 10th Anniversary Collection. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Metal Crush Extreme Highlighter in Gold Skool, as well as the Glimmerveil Liquid Lipstick, also in Gold Skool. Those are the two products I'm going to try out for this video, and there will be a subsequent video focusing on the eyeshadow palette as well. So first up, talking about the packaging on these, I'll warn you ahead of time, it's going to reflect in my lighting, because the highlighter itself is in a very shiny, very pretty highlighter case, but it definitely will fingerprint a bit, and the box itself is also very shiny. So this is what the highlighter looks like. It's just a single pan highlighter, but it does have a nice mirror in it. So taking a look at this, it's definitely a very beautiful, like champagne-y gold with a lot of glitter in it. This is a very glittery highlight. And this is what the swatch looks like. It's really beautiful, it's really blinding, and I'm very excited to try it on. I also picked out some other highlighters in my collection to show you some duplicates, or near duplicates that I have. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, so I just tap that off a little bit. But then once you start, ooh, look at that blinding glow. Like, that is gorgeous. Again, this is glittery, and if you don't like a glittery highlighter, you may not like this. However, I like it quite a bit. It's not quite as deeply gold as the Fenty Beauty's Trophy Wife, which is actually not a good gold for my particular skin tone, so that is why I avoided that one. Not because I don't think it looks cool, I think it super does, but I don't need a single, you know, it'd basically be a giant glitter eyeshadow for me, and I don't need that. I got so much eyeshadow. So that's why I didn't pick that one up. But this, I felt, because there was more of a champagne, it was going to be a better match for my particular skin tone. Like a really deep gold on me just makes me look a little bit sallow, because I have sort of like very pinky undertones. So I really am enjoying this, though. I think this looks fabulous. I'm going to flash on the screen the price point and the cost per gram. This is not a ton of highlighter for the product. In terms of, like, compared to like a Becca, for example, like, you're definitely not getting quite as much product as something like that. Though the packaging is huge and it looks super pretty, you're not actually getting a super large amount of product for this. What I will say is that it is a very beautiful highlighter, and I know that it is limited edition, and that makes, you know, everybody's fingers get a little itchy. I really need to have this one in case they may never come out with it again. So I definitely had that feeling. I'm not disappointed in it. I know that some of the really large pan highlighters, I'm never going to use that up anyway, but I will warn you that, you know, price per gram, this is not the greatest. So I pulled some duplicates out of my collection that sort of have a varying degree of price point, so let's take a look at those now. So first up, from Colourpop, this is the Super Shock Cheek in the shade Spoon. This is not a good color match, but it is very similar in terms of, like, the glitteriness. This is definitely more of a white color as opposed to a gold. It's not as intense, and the glitter is not quite as good, but, you know, if you want a blinding highlight, something similar like this would probably work for you, and I'm sure Colourpop probably has a slightly golder version. I just don't own another one. Also, on the lower end of things, I also pulled out the Wet n Wild loose highlighting powder in the shade Moon Tears. This is from the Gothographic collection, so I will swatch that as well. That is also not quite as gold, but it is a similar sort of blinding shimmer. It's definitely got more of a peach to it as opposed to gold, but again, you can still get a very intense highlight from that. Next up, I'm going to show one of the other Metal Crush Extreme highlighters. This is from the palette that came out from Kat Von D. This is still available. This is a Metal Crush palette. I'm going to take the shade Helix, which is the one in the center. That is probably the closest color-wise, though it's not particularly great. It's definitely a lot lighter, but it is definitely a similar sort of finish. So it is definitely a lot paler. In fact, that one is a pretty good duplicate for, like, the Wet n Wild, for example, but you can see it. They're very, very blinding. I also pulled out my Becca Ocean Jewels highlighter palette. The shade I felt matched the closest was the Citrine shade, which is sort of like a greeny gold. I will apply that here. So that is the shade right here. So again, it's not as much glitter in the Citrine, but the color actually of Citrine versus the Gold Skool is actually very similar. There's just not as much glitter. And last but not least, we have the Cover FX glitter drops. This is in the shade Mirage. This is a very close duplicate to this, and I'll show you on my hand. And here is the shade Mirage. It's nearly identical, and actually, because it is a liquid, it does go on a bit smoother. So if you are liking a similar shade and you already have Mirage, say you picked up one of the little mini sizes, which is what I did because these are a little expensive, you will already have this shade and you will not need to purchase another one. So something to be aware. I was able to dupe this out with my Mirage. It also is similar enough to some of these other incredibly glittery highlighters. I'm not going to be returning it. I'm still going to keep it. I love highlighters. I love collecting highlighters, and I'm not mad about this. I also appreciate that it has a mirror, so if I wanted to take it with me somewhere, it also doubles as a pretty cool compact. Next up, we're going to look at the Everlasting Glimmerveil. This is also in the shade Gold Skool. This has really cool packaging. It's super pretty and shiny. It's similar in the fact that you can still see the product through the wording, which is how the regular ones are. That's so you can tell what color is in there. And then here is the applicator. It's very similar to the other ones, and I will do a swatch on my hand below. So this is definitely very beautiful, very shiny, very opaque. I'm going to apply it now. And this is the shade Gold Skool in the Everlasting Glimmerveil. Basically, I look like a really epic robot, and this is exactly what I was hoping for from this particular lipstick. Now, I did also pull out some duplicates from my collection. I don't have an exact duplicate because I actually feel like this is the progression I was hoping for with some other of the Kat Von D Glimmerveils, plus I have a couple of other gold lipsticks that I will also swatch alongside. This is actually the effect I was always hoping for from the Thunderstruck shade from the Everlasting Glimmerveils, which was a much lighter champagne-y color. So if you can see from the swatches, this is Gold Skool on top, and this is the Thunderstruck. This is definitely more of a champagne-y, less of a gold, and it's a lot lighter. This one usually needs a couple of coats in order to be really opaque, and even still, it's not the most flattering. And again, your mileage may vary. You may find this to be incredibly unflattering on me. That's cool. I like it though. Below that, I'm also going to swatch the shade Supersonic. This was a limited edition shade of the Kat Von D Glimmerveils. This is actually more like a pumpkin-y orange with sort of like a greenish glitter, so it's not going to look the same. What I found with it though, that it started as it would dry down and wear off my lips, it would look a little bit more gold. But like, see, the initial swatch is definitely more orange with like a green gold affect to it. And while it would dry down a bit, it still did not achieve this like epic goldness that Gold Skool is doing. The two lipsticks I'm going to show you first from Sugarpill. This is the shade Glint. I actually just picked this up very recently at IMATS, and I did enjoy it. I wore it out the other day. What I found though is though it swatches really nicely. It's a lot darker necessarily than it shows up on my face. This actually started to blend in and match the shade of my lips, and it was very subtle gold lipstick, which I was not expecting. I was not necessarily going for that. I like having a subtle gold lipstick, but this one did not give me the intensity I was hoping for. And I also have from MAC, this is part of the Star Trek 50th Anniversary Collection. This is the shade The Enemy Within. This also is like a fancy shiny gold that also sort of turned out to be less intense than I was hoping for. So that's what that looks like here. Again, the lighting is getting funky because everything is so incredibly shiny. So this was more of a muted gold as well. It was not giving me the pizzazz that I was hoping for, and that is definitely what Gold Skool is serving. There are some lip glosses that are coming out right now. I know there is, I think, one called Gold Mine from Urban Decay in their high gloss lip glosses that just came out. And also Too Faced just came out with one as well. Also looks nice. The difference is this is not a gloss. While it is very shiny, this is definitely like a liquid lipstick. And with my experiences with these Glimmerveils, including this one, is that once they dry down, they stay very, very well. They don't really come off on anything, and they need very minimal touch-ups during the day. And I'm actually super pleased with how this one is performing. So this one definitely gets a thumbs up. I'm super excited to have purchased this. On the other hand, with the highlighter, did I need this highlighter? I probably did not. It was probably a mistake to pick that one up. And I kind of knew that going into it, that I would be buying it knowing it was probably going to be dupable out of my collection pretty easily, and that I wasn't going to really require it. However, I'm not upset about it. It is a brand I really like. The compact is really beautiful, and I will continue to use it. And it's a lot easier to take a compact with me, especially if I'm traveling, as opposed to the entire Metal Crush highlighter palette, which, though I do like it, I don't always travel with it because it is a little bit bigger, because it's a lot longer. It doesn't fit into my smaller makeup bags. Anyway, that's it for this video. I will be doing a review of the Kat Von D 10th Anniversary Collection eyeshadow palette, but that'll be coming in a subsequent day. I just wanted to get a little bit of a feel for it and be able to do a lot of research with the swatches, because there's a lot of colors in that palette and I have a lot of eyeshadow to match it against. So I will let you know, and soon I'll be posting that one as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please subscribe. If there's a suggestion for something you'd like to see me do, please put that in the comments down below. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I will see you all soon. Bye!